to a world where fear, every story here hides a night. Enter if you dare.
Ethan, Mia, Lucas, Sarah, and Daniel drive through the deep forest late at night. The air feels unnaturally silent, as if the entire woods are holding their breath. Their GPS suddenly switches to an unknown dirt road and all signals disappear. Reaching the cabin, they smell old damp wood and notice the broken porch creaking beneath their feet. Inside, the darkness feels thick enough to swallow the lantern light. Sarah lights an old lantern that barely reveals half of the cabin. Lucas finds deep scratch marks on the walls, as if someone tried to claw their way out. Ethan touches the marks and realizes the wood feels recently damaged. The group exchanges uneasy glances, sensing something is wrong. Mia discovers a dusty cassette recorder hidden under loose floorboards. When she plays it, a shaky male voice whispers, "If you're in a group, it already knows you." The voice cuts off in harsh static, leaving everyone in silence. Daniel laughs nervously, but his eyes show fear. Outside, the night grows darker and the wind rubs against the cabin walls like a warning. Lucas looks through the window and sees a tall figure standing still between the trees. The shadow disappears instantly, as if it was never there. Lucas panics, but the group thinks he's imagining things. Ethan rechecks the front door lock and slides the chain tighter. A sudden heavy thud hits the back of the cabin. Sarah grips the lantern tighter, feeling her heartbeat rise. Ethan walks slowly to the back door, but finds nothing there. Mia hears her name being called from the forest in Sarah's exact voice. Sarah freezes because she didn't say anything. The group starts feeling cold dread sink into their stomachs. The recorder plays again without anyone touching it. This time the voice says, it copies voices, especially the closest ones. The cabin temperature drops sharply and everyone shivers. Daniel insists they need to leave immediately before things get worse. Ethan argues that the forest at night is more dangerous. Mia stays silent, staring fixedly at the cabin door. Another knock comes, slow and deliberate, as if someone is waiting patiently. Lucas jumps back in fear, almost dropping the lantern. Ethan doesn't open the door and only asks, "Who's there?" but gets no answer. Then a whisper comes from outside, mimicking Daniel's voice, saying, "Let me in." Daniel's face twists in horror because he's standing right there with them. Sarah begins shaking uncontrollably. Something suddenly appears on the window glass, a face shaped like a human, but stretched and wrongly proportioned. The face slowly distorts, as if trying to learn their features. When Lucas shines the flashlight, the face vanishes instantly. The group gathers in the center of the cabin and promises not to trust any voice. Mia suddenly says she found a door leading to a basement. Ethan is confused because there was no basement when they first checked. From the cracked basement door, a dim light spills out along with a faint crying sound. Daniel leads the way downstairs with his flashlight while the others follow. They find dozens of photographs of random groups pinned to the walls. Each photo shows different people, but the last frame is empty. Below the empty frame, fresh ink spells the word "Next." Sarah touches the frame with trembling hands. Footsteps echo behind them in the dark basement. Ethan spins the flashlight around, but nothing is there. The crying sound stops abruptly. Mia's name echoes again in Ethan's perfect voice. Ethan shakes his head in fear, whispering, "That wasn't me." Lucas turns and spots a tall humanoid figure crouched in the corner. The creature's limbs are long and bent at impossible angles, and its face is blank like smooth skin. It begins crawling toward them with slow, deliberate movement. The group panics and sprints up the stairs. The basement door slams shut violently, as if pushed by a huge force. The entire cabin shakes like something powerful is trapped below. Sarah feels a whisper against her ear saying, "Don't separate." Daniel panics and opens the main door, running into the forest without looking back. The rest follow him, but Daniel suddenly stops, responding. When they catch him, his face is blank and expressionless like a mask. Ethan realizes this isn't Daniel, but a mimic trying to copy his form. The fake Daniel moves with unnatural speed and disappears into the trees. A distant scream of the real Daniel echoes from deeper in the forest. The remaining group runs the opposite way and finds a narrow trail. Their own voices begin echoing around them as if dozens of copies are calling out. The trail ends at a cliff with nowhere left to run. Behind them, branches break as the creature crawls closer. Mia grabs Ethan's hand, crying, "Don't let it take our voices." Lucas throws the lantern toward the creature. For a brief moment, the monster becomes fully visible, multiple versions of their faces flickering across its body. It shrieks horribly and grabs Lucas by the arm. Ethan drags Lucas away and he barely escapes. They slide down a steep slope and tumble onto an old dirt road. Injured and exhausted, they force themselves to keep running. Finally, they stop on the road and struggle to catch their breath. Mia cries that Daniel is gone and they didn't save him. Ethan hugs her tightly, saying, "We survived. We all did." Suddenly, a voice behind them repeats in Ethan's exact tone. "Did we?" Sarah and Lucas slowly look behind Ethan in horror. In the darkness of the forest, the creature stands there wearing Ethan's perfect face. It smiles slowly as if finally choosing its next form. The lights fade into darkness and silence fills the forest. Only a distorted whisper echoes. "Your voices are mine now." The story ends in cold, suffocating quiet.
The story ends, but something still follows you. See you in the next fear.